Ooh, better not do that. Get in trouble for those. Ooh. Let's see. We'll just wait for some people to get in. What up, everybody? What's going on? Thought I'd just come and have a chat. You know, we've been talking about so much stuff lately. I know I've been jam-packing your minds with all kinds of shit. So, you know, I figured we would just have a little conversation. And, you know, if y'all don't have nothing to say, I'll start talking. You know I talk. You know, that's not a difficult thing for me to do is talk. You want to know some stuff? Hey, look, right? The Bible is not a religious book. The Bible is the conquest of Rome versus the Moors. You see, the world is ran by two forms of government. Don't mind that seed, right? Inside the Bible, the gods of the Bible, right? I want you to think about all the ancient civilizations. They tell you that everybody pulled up on them from airships, right? You know, airships. You know, the ones that they don't want you to know exist, right? Now, every ancient civilization that you go to around the world gives you the same story. The gods pulled up in an airship, and then they came down and civilized the people. Now, that's written in every ancient civilization across the water, right? Funny thing about that is that when you read the Bible, they talk to you about the God in the clouds. You see, what we're being deified, see, this was self-deification. You see, the Moors, M-U-U-R-S, had been expelled from the Americas due to the fact that they were wanting to try to conquer man, right? Because there were certain Moors that were on some conquering bullshit rather than being on a growth mission. You understand? And so what happened was they were cast out. These are the ones that are the fallen angels. Okay? These are the fallen in the Bible. Now, the fallen in the Bible went and mixed with mankind. They tell you specifically, they went and mixed with mankind. What was that? And then they produced Nephilim, right? What was mankind? What is man? What do you think of when you think of mankind? You don't think of man. Fucking Neanderthals. These were the animals. Remember, you hear all the stories about Yakub and his gene splicing and everything like that? That was them fucking sleeping with the Neanderthals, which created your wild men. Those big hairy motherfuckers. You get me? This is what the Bible's telling you about. The world being flooded over was admiralty jurisdiction when the Pope signed off on the treaty saying that everybody was under his jurisdiction due to the fact that there was waters above. Nothing in the Bible has to do with ancient times. Everything in the Bible happened within the last not the last 100, sorry, but happened within the last like 400 to 500 years. It's not as old a book as everybody keeps claiming that it is. It's literally not. All it's telling you is the conquest of the Pope, because the Pope is the one that claims to be Jesus. That's why the Pope has the position that the Pope has, as a false prophet created by the Jewish community. This isn't the Hindenburg specifically. This is just a blimp. A lot of people keep inviting me to co-host. I don't do that shit. Now, this is the thing, right? Is that now they burned the blimp only to scare people from being able to use this, right? I want you to think about this for a minute. At the time that they had blimps, they tried to convince you that people were brought over here by ships. Meanwhile, right, I want you to think about, like, I want you to use a little bit of your brain for a second here. They're telling you that everybody got transferred by ships. They're not telling you that everybody got transferred by like the boats that that's all fabricated bullshit. All of it, fabricated bullshit. People were still walking over here in the 1800s. How the fuck you gonna get a boat across that shit? Doesn't even make sense, especially the massive sizes of the boats that they're claiming. And as we all know, the Negro, colored people, were the originals of this country. And I say we, and if you got a problem with me saying we, you can suck nut, okay? Because I've had that hard R thrown at me more time in my life than most people, due to the fact that I grew up in Fort Dix McGuire Air Force Base in a sea of fucking people. So don't tell me what I can represent, because I was given that title before I even, well, I ain't gonna lie, my dad made me know what that word was before I went to kindergarten. All right, I ain't gonna lie to you. My dad made sure I knew what that word meant before I went to fucking kindergarten. I stood on business the whole time. That's why my dad had to take an early retirement from the military due to the fact that I beat the sleeves off of so many of the kids that were being taught racism by their parents. It wasn't my fault. They tried to jump me and shit. And considering the fact that I was the only fucking person that was mixed, because it was the quota timing. Yeah, I was running around with a 6-pack and motherfucking broad shoulders, baby. They couldn't, so it was always getting jumped and me whooping on a bunch of fucking racist people's children. So you can't take that shit from me. Now, so this is the thing. How the airships harvest energy? Bro, you don't see it right on them? That's the shape. The shape of it itself. That's sacred geometry. That's a resonance. Okay? They would pull up and get recharged at the stations. See the little posts on them? Why do you think we have all those... See, the things that they told you were weather vanes and shit like that, they weren't weather vanes. That's where you pulled up. Hey, yo. I caught myself getting mad the other day because I went into the grocery store to get my watermelons, and I got my dogs their chicken. So I'm just literally just walking around with a fucking shopping cart full of watermelon and chicken, and everybody's looking at me like I'm fucking nuts. I was like, oh, this is some racist shit, right? But I ain't gonna lie, how the fuck they gonna tell you, how they gonna mock everybody for eating watermelons? This is the best shit on the fucking planet. It's crazy how they got everybody mocking everything that's good for you. Y'all want to see something dope though? Hey, look, you want to see what my bloodline? You want to see my resonance? You want to see my frequency through history? You want to see all the different? You want to see all the different variations? If you understand, hey, look, how many people in here understand frequency and vibration? How many of you understand frequency and vibration and the basic concept, right? The basic concept behind frequency and vibration is that the frequency produces the physical. So if the frequency produces the physical, let me show you something. Where's that fucking picture? Where is that shit? All right, hey, look, let me ask you something, right? I'm gonna have to get this picture sent over. Hold on a second. Let me see something real quick. I gotta send this picture to myself. Send it. Oh, that's the video. Hold on, I don't want to send the video. Hey, you want to see something neat? Share this over here to this phone, please. Wow, so let me show you something. I've been telling y'all I've been here since the beginning of all this shit, and nobody believes me. I swear nobody fucking believes me on this shit. I'm gonna show y'all some shit. Let's go done. Oh, I gotta save this. Save the photos. Go to the photo. Send it to myself. I solely believe that they created line dancing for people. I solely believe that they created line dancing for people that. Hey, look, check this out. You want to see me through history? See, this is my dad right here. That's my great grandfather right there. Okay, that's my dad, my great grandfather. If you notice, my dad looks exactly like Buddha. Funny thing, my dad was actually a Buddhist. Then you have my great grandfather, who was an Israelite, which makes sense because that's what the Phoenicians were. Then, of course, you got your boy Enki right here, and you've also got the emperor that has the terracotta fucking statues over in China, right? Then, of course, over here you got Leonidas. Right? Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but frequency matches up physically. Where do you see a separation? I hear a lot of people claiming that they've been here, right? Claiming that they're a part of this shit, right? Telling people lies and stories and shit, but you can't find them. You can't find them. Right? Where's their evidence? Where's their proof? The only people I know that's showing you anything even remotely close to this show you pictures of pictures that don't have pictures. They show you cuneiform and shit like that and try to make you look for them inside of it. I don't have to show you. You can see me in every single last one of them clearly. It's not even something that changes over time, because it's the continuation of a vibration. This is how frequency works, right? This is why I'm able to tell you about stuff that they have to go and Google and they have to go and research to find out. But y'all don't hear me. There's some old souls here, then there's some new souls here. All right? You need to figure out who you are. Some of y'all know in your heart that you've only been here. This is your first time here. I've had people tell it to me flat out. I don't think I've ever been here before. I don't have no ties to nothing in the past. I don't remember nothing from the past. I don't have any drawings or anything that pulls me towards anything. You feel me? So we can talk about it from whatever perspective that you want. Right? Because it's not really that difficult to see. Right? It's not really that difficult to see when you take a second and look at it. And here, let me dig it out a little bit further. Oh, I'm glad you put that hat on, because this is what the Seminoles look like. For all of you that really don't understand that, all black people don't have fucking big fat noses and big fat lips and shit. That's some African propaganda. Nah, this is a real Seminole. You understand? Looks exactly like my great-great-grandfather. Now, my great-great-great-grandfather, he was the sheriff of Wall Street, and so was my great-grandfather. Both of them were the sheriffs of Wall Street. Black Wall Street, as a matter of fact. Just to be clear. These are the people of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, if I go and I can go and trace my family lineage. Everywhere that they tell you that the Trail of Tears was, I have a generation of family born in each one of the areas that one of the tribes was from. Every single one of my family resorts back into America, except for on my mom's side, of course. That's where this little bit of light-skinnedness comes in. You get me? But and so we got to dead this whole idea that men are created out of women, because the reflection of the men from my family has been man after man after man after man. That line. That genetic coding is very, very strong. It's significantly dominant. You get what I'm saying? Like, hold on, let me show you what I mean. Hey, tomorrow... Hey, you know what's crazy is today is Mama T's birthday, and tomorrow is my tomorrow's my grandma's birthday. I'm telling you, Noah. I'm telling you, man. Shit ain't as sweet as motherfuckers try to make it. You get me? Right? These are the original. This is one of the original Seminoles. Right here. Who's he look like? Imagine that. But y'all be on here telling me that I look white. The fuck you mean? Bitch, I'll be like, hold up, man, hold on. You know, like when people tell me that I look whitey and shit like that, like not for nothing, I don't conform to them color shits, but you know, it's kind of disrespectful that y'all so racist that y'all don't even know what your own what color people look like. Y'all just got that embedded fucking idea that everybody colored looks like everybody from Africa. Fuck no, bitch. We ain't not even close. People from Africa, they're like damn near dark fucking purple. Bitch, we don't get that dark here. We don't. There's variations. There's variations. It's copper, babies. You know. I swear, the motherfuckers over in Africa, they be black fucking dark midnight fucking purple, bitch. That shit be out of this world. And how the fuck can you take somebody that looks like that? Completely different features than everybody else in America. Do you know that over there in Africa, they cannot grow their froze and their hair the way that the American Negro can grow it? Do you know that over there in Africa, they do not grow beards and shit like that? Go look at them. Go fucking look. Ball face, all of them. How does any of that reference back to a biblical reference where everybody had beards? Where do you find all the fucking beards? I have to shave this shit 4 times a fucking week. 4 times, okay? I have a full shit. My shit is full. It comes in all the way. There's no patches. There's nothing missing. Comes all the way down to here. Full, like wool, with all the colors. Red, gold, black, brown, all of it. Isn't that what they described? Isn't that what they described in the Bible? Copper, hair like wool. You don't see the fucking colors? You don't see how this is blonde with little red hairs and little... I got my distinguished marks, okay? I'm over 40. I know it doesn't really necessarily look like it, but this body is physically over 40. Right? And I know you're in here. Don't worry about my exact age. That it's not real. It's not a real number. Nothing holy about your hair, dude. You don't understand the fucking shit, bro. This only looks like this because I shave it down. What you mean there's nothing holy about your hair? How do they describe Jesus' hair? Like wool. Thick. Right? Had all the colors of the sun. Oh, I'm not copper? You sure about that? Guy, let me show you something, right? See, I'm not going to do that new age shit. Hold on, I know I got old pennies around here somewhere. See, y'all be making that argument from these new age pennies, right? These new age pennies are motherfucking aluminum, copper, and some other fucking things. These are not like the old school pennies. None of y'all... That's why y'all fucking hate this shit. It's because y'all match up to this bullshit. Okay? Now, mind you, my hair, when I grow my hair, it's thick. And unlike you fucking natives, because of the fact that I'm actually closely mixed in with colored people, my hair curls. Right? If I actually let this bullshit up here, I can't deal with it because I can't fucking stand it, okay? I can't stand this shit. Here, matter of fact, here, I'll show you. Hold on. I'll prove it. Hold on. I think I've been making shit up. Let me show you something real quick. Let me show you me when I was little, when I had my little Jew fro. Y'all think it's a game. Hold on, let me show you something. Bitch. Let me show you the Jew fro. Hold on. We're going to pull it out. Hold on. Wait. I know it's in here somewhere. Y'all not going to sit here and try to categorize me. My hair curls like a motherfucker. So does my sister's. And I just got off the phone with my 87-year-old grandma. She'll be 88 tomorrow. Let's see. I know I got one of them little baby pictures floating around in this motherfucker somewhere. Hold Hold on, you gonna see why everybody knew I was mixed. They're like, oh yeah, that's that little fucking, that's him right there. You know why? Because I stood out like a sore thumb around in a world full of people with flat, dead hair. Your boy was running around motherfucking knocking heads. Hold on, where's it at? I know it's in here. I know I got one in here. Oh. Hold on, wait. I swear I just seen it a second ago. Hold on. Bah. My hair curls. My hair curls. I don't have flat hair. It curls naturally. Longer it grows, the more curly it gets. I just get like, you know, it's not, it doesn't have the thickness. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I envy the thickness a little bit. Okay, I envy the thickness of it doesn't have the thickness. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I envy the thickness a little bit. Okay, I envy the thickness of I envy the thickness of fully colored hair, right? I do, but everybody on my grandma's side, she'd be like, no, you got the good hair, Jason. What are you talking about? You'd be like, no, you got the good hair. No. And just notice how my nose used to look before I got into fights and got my shit fucking broken a couple of different times, right? You see? Don't look so motherfucking, I'm trying not to. You know, I'm keeping it friendly. I'm keeping it light. You know, we just talk about some past stuff and shit like that, you know? This little guy was running around an all-white fucking Air Force base causing problems. They just didn't like my existence in general. You get me? They was not happy about me being there during that time, yeah? You were not welcomed. You were not welcome being mixed when you were in the 80s to the early 90s. That shit did not become popular until the early 2000s. I'd say like 97 and up was when being mixed started to be acceptable by the general public. That was when all of a sudden I wanted a zebra, a half breed, a Oreo, a fucking my mom stopped getting called in-lover, you know. Fucking, I got to stop fighting for all that shit around like the late 90s to the early 2000s, right around the time I graduated from high school. That's the real time that shit really took a nice plummet, okay? But before that, it was wartime, baby. We were just out there rocking, socking, bopping motherfuckers, just keeping it rolling. It wasn't my fault. I wasn't looking for sauce. They came to me. Racist white women, bro. I deal with everybody's races these days, my guy. That's what I found out when I was very young. Because, I thought growing up in that Air Force base with all them racist ass white people on my heels all the time, I thought that when I moved into fucking New Jersey, like when we moved into civilian life, and the first couple of schools I went to didn't have no black kids in it. But then when I started getting into the hood and shit like that and kicking it with everybody that's down there, motherfucker, bitch, obviously, I dealt with just as much bullshit. The only difference, okay, this is the difference, right? When I was dealing with the racism on the Air Force base and shit like that, and we were rocking it. You're from Jersey. It's a school of hard knocks, bitch. You throwing hands or you're getting ran over. I was rocking all the day. I literally went from every school, I was switched into a new school from fighting too much. But this is the thing, right? Is motherfucking, it was strange to me. It was like a weird transition because I thought being around other colored people, I would be welcomed. Because I was always welcomed by my dad's whole side of the family. Like whenever we go and visit them, it was like nothing. We were just family, right? But when I started going into the hood and shit, I was getting white boy and cracker from the other colored people, and I was getting gringo and fucking shit like that from the fucking Mexicans and shit. Like it was just going around. It was just going around. But look, this is the difference, right? Is when I was around the white people, they would always jump me. When I was around the black people, they would talk some shit, but you could still survive. You could still live. They just didn't jump you in and shit like that. But now when I went to juvie, that was a different story. When I went to juvie, we all got rocking because I'm a grower, not a shower. And when we were in the showers, he was like, man, it looks kind of small, yo. So what's wrong with your junk? And I was like, well, why are you looking at my shit? And then we had to rock out on the basketball court. You know, it was like me versus an army full of fucking people in juvie. That shit was brutal. You get me? Like, so, motherfucking, you know, I've had to fight. I've had to fight a bunch of fucking Europeans over this shit. But I've had to verbally argue with colored people over this shit. So, you know, for me, I don't really give a fuck. I know that everybody got that mentality fucked up in them. That's just it. And once I discovered that I was getting it from both sides of the fucking fence, it was like, okay, there's a problem here. It's not that everybody hates everybody. There's a problem here. There's something being trained into everybody. So I spent my whole entire life trying to crack the code of figuring out how in the fuck it was that they got everybody to hate me, because I was a great fucking kid. This dude right here won best person on kickball, soccer, baseball, football, basketball, motherfucking best artist in the school. I was in all the newspapers, won all the art contests. Not only that, but I was in the band. I also motherfucking played fucking, I demolished them in every single sport. Like, we were all kicking, like, bro, I'm a nice fucking person. So I'm like, why the fuck is it that everybody's coming to me telling me that their parents told them they can't even hang out with me? Like, I knew that something was fucked up. Because look at his face. Does this look like the face of a kid that deserved to get punched in his shit? Nah, this looks like a little wanderer. Like a my little mixed American explorer. You know, just running around trying to live life. I was a nice kid. I like to draw stuff for people, build stuff for people. Hey, it was good, man. And this fucking thing is hot, man. It's a little warm inside this thing, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. Yeah, I know it was their way, bro, but that was the thing, was I wasn't trying to beat them. I wasn't in competition with them. That was the weird part. That was the part that was so weird to me. Was I was just trying to exist. Who's that, John? Who's that, Welky? Hey, look, right? It was so, you know, like, my thing was once I found that it was universal, right? It didn't matter which side I went to. Outside of my family, it didn't matter which side I fucking went to. Oh, Little Rock. Okay, which person from Little Rock? There's a couple of them. I got a lot of people. You out. I don't think you the same. I know who you're not, but I don't know who you are. Hey, you notice how I'm still sitting here? Hey, I told you I was never coming back. I told him, hey, look, I sent them in the court papers, bro. I sent them in the court papers and put them all on trial for treason, my guy. I tried calling you to let you know what was going on because I was calling them on their shit. And they forged the documents saying that I missed my court date because I pressed them for treason, for operating my straw man without my consent, basically. Like, I called them out on their fucking bullshit because they violated my rights. They also fucking didn't follow due process. They also fucking violated. They were also warring against the Constitution. You get me? I pressed all the charges on them. I got the IRS on them. I got the Army on them. I put Congress on them. I put the governor on notice. I put the Supreme Court on notice. I put all that shit on notice, bro. And they fabricated a court date. They fabricated a court date and fucking and said that I didn't appear for it. They couldn't have the court date though because their public defender had quit. I didn't have any counsel. I didn't have anybody representing me, and I hadn't even gotten to the point of discussing representation because I was trying to get all my documents together. And motherfucking, they turned around because I sent it to them, right? And they rejected the letters that I sent to them, which they weren't allowed to do. And so I emailed it to them. And when I emailed it to them, I put a CC on it going to the Supreme Court judge, going to the Bar Association, and everything else. And so because of the fact that I pressed them for even trying to bring me back into that court, they fucking issued a warrant out for me. They want to kill me. Get me? They want to get me. But they're mad right now because I got them investigated. Shouldn't be trying to unalive black people for no reason. That's disgusting behavior. And I know that they knew my rights because when I went and seen the first judge that tried to give me my bond, I was like, first off, you know this is a violation of due process. I was supposed to be here before I even got here. And y'all trying to charge me with a felony. So that requires an indictment by a grand jury before I even have, before you can even issue a warrant. So how the fuck am I in your custody in the first place? And they were like, oh, no, that sovereign shit ain't going to work here. You're not going to talk to us like that. I was like, look, man, can we just subrogate this matter and let me go the fuck home and get on about my business? He was like, nah, you got to talk to the next judge about it. Yeah, so they want to kill me. They weren't trying to let me leave. But they fucked me over because they had time to respond to my notice that put them on notice to dismiss the shit and everything like that. And their response to it was to issue a warrant for a court date that never existed. Ah, you stay safe too, man. See, that's the thing is like, you know, there's a lot of people on here that tell you about stuff and they talk to you about stuff that they're doing, but they don't do it. I went in there and argued, regardless of whether it's going to cost me my life or not. I went in there and stood my ground. Y'all got to stop listening to these people that don't have the nuts to do what they're talking about. You get me? Once you see something like that, I don't give a fuck about nothing that this system has to tell me. Nothing. I don't give a fuck about none of their rules, none of their laws, none of their nothing, because it doesn't apply to them, so it ain't applying to me either. Got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. You're not going to try to hit me with some criminal charges when you're doing criminal shit and you can get away with it right in front of me. Why the fuck do I have to suffer if you don't? If you ain't suffering for the shit that you're doing, you're definitely not dragging me into that shit. You get me? All right, this is too hot. Hold on a second. Too hot sitting in this fucking thing, man. I thought it was going to be nice and cool with the AC on, but it ain't even helping. Ugh. I know I got a pack of white teas around here somewhere. Shouldn't be eating them with watermelon, but whatever. I damn near shit myself earlier. I did. I almost shit myself because I made that watermelon mix a little too strong. That shit sent me straight to the bathroom. I barely made it. That shit had me running. I was like, oh. Thought I farted a little bit. It was a little bit of a shark. I was like, oh, time to go. Ran to the bathroom. I was like, what the fuck? All that turmeric and ginger and pepper and all that shit, I activated the fuck out of them. Hey, look, I'm telling you, if you eat the fucking watermelon stuff that I tell you to, you're gonna melt fucking fat away. Okay? It's gonna melt. It's just gonna melt right the fuck off of you. Alright? You better be ready. Cause you eat the watermelon mixes that I make, you're going to the fucking toilet. Everything that's in you from the day before is leaving immediately and taking all of its little friends with it. That shit was, whew, I was not ready for all that. Yeah, I wasn't ready at all. That shit caught me off guard. I was like, oh God. Yeah, I'm a real fucking man, okay? I don't give a fuck. I'm not shy. I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you if my fucking booty hole's bleeding from something. We gonna talk about it, okay? Because we're friends. That's what friends do. Talk about their bleeding buttholes and motherfucking relationship problems. That's what friends are for. Can't talk about that shit with nobody else, so you're here with me now, so it's too late. All right, we get real around here, okay? We don't do all that fake stuff for social media. Nah, we're just us. I'm be me. You get me? You get to be you around me. That's the thing that you're going to find being around me that you enjoy more than anything else. Is one thing for sure. You know that I would prefer you to be you genuinely. I don't give a fuck. You don't have to put on no facade for me. You don't have to make shit up to impress me. I'm not somebody that can be impressed. Okay? I can't be impressed because I fucking just, to me, we're all equal anyway. So how the fuck, like, you know, I'm not trying to impress you. Don't worry about trying to impress me. Just be you. Now, if that shit gets you punched in the face around other people, don't be you around me. I got sort. Hey, look, I don't have that. You know, I don't. You know, I told y'all I don't deal with things the same anymore. Things don't affect me the way that they do anymore. When I think I need to punch somebody in the face, I just go with it these days. You know why? Because I'm just gonna follow what my fucking gut tells me. Because they might have needed that shit right there. All right, don't think for a fucking second that being spiritual means that you ain't gonna get fucked up. Because in nature, that's all you're doing is being in tune with nature. In nature, if something's acting wild in the pack, what happens? The pack fucking stomps that motherfucker out and drags it to the side and sends it packing. It's nature. If you come looking for a consequence, you can have one. You know, I try not to, but you know, that's how it works. Don't let these people convince you that being a spiritual being and understanding who you are means that you're here to be walked on. Hey, love and light to you too, man. It's not what it means. It don't make you soft. Matter of fact, it makes you stronger. It makes you more dangerous. I see everybody trying to make posts about this shit. Telling y'all all kinds of war stories and sacrifices and bullshit. Ain't none of that on this wall at all. You see the disciples? There's two fucking people over here with the horns, you know, the trumpets, right? All the things that you hear about in the Bible, these are where it comes from. These are the prophets and the saints. These are those same things. These are the prophets and the saints of the Bible. Right here on the screen. You don't recognize these symbols? You don't see this in all the other hieroglyphs that I show you? You don't recognize the hats that they wear, the animals that are on them, the symbolism that I've been teaching you? It's this. This is the origin. It's just you can't find as much as this because most of the pyramids around here, they don't let you get access to. You understand? You don't notice how there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 layers dealing with the red, the white, the gold, dealing with you understand that there's a passageway that's being portrayed here. This is the same shit. This is where all that biblical stuff comes from. These are the 7 steps up to heaven. This is the waters above. Notice how he's got the horse on his hat. Notice how the other one has the bird and the other. It's the same shit. Ain't nothing new. You notice you see it up there? You don't notice that this is the same exact shit that I've been showing you with the Egyptian hieroglyphs, the Phoenicians? You don't see the Father sitting in the clouds? Right? You don't see the 2 women that sit behind Osiris? You don't recognize the fucking inner workings of your temple? There's nothing in here about fucking sacrifice. I listened to this video of this dude that's a fucking idiot talking about this shit. And, you know, it's just the shit that people... Look. All people that are war-torn and that are concentrated on destruction, and that's all they're gonna see in this. They're never going to see what it really is because all they're going to pull out is themselves. This only pulls out you. It's not about them. You understand? It's not about them, it's about you. This pulls stuff out of you. You see things a certain way when you look at this. This is how you can tell when who's connected to the fucking Father and who isn't, right? Who's connected to the Creator and who isn't. Why? Because the people that don't, they're going to come to this and see demons. They're going to come to this and they're going to see monsters. They're going to come to this and they're going to see sacrifice. They're going to come to this and they're going to see war. They're going to come to this and they're going to see everything except for the message that's positive in it, because that's what they're looking for. You can find negative anywhere that you go. You can look through your girl's fucking phone. You're going to find something to piss you off. You just got to look hard enough. You can look through his property. You're eventually going to find something inside of his stuff that's going to piss you off because it's what you're looking for. Those that are born in destruction, right? This is why it says, he who makes a practice of sin is of the devil, and he whoever practices righteousness is righteous as righteousness is righteous. And this is how we know our brethren one from the other. Because the ones that know God would not do or say or portray themselves in the ways of the ones that are ran by the devil. The devil doesn't exist, but it doesn't mean that you can't be controlled by it. You make it exist because all they see is devils everywhere that they look, right or wrong. All they see is demons, devils, sacrifice, war, and pain and struggling. You get me? Hey, infinite love and light to you too. This is why, look, you got to pay more attention to these people that you follow and that you listen to on these paths that you're going on. If every time that they talk to you, they're talking to you about demons, if every time that they talk to you, they're talking to you about, oh, these people destroyed and broke this, and we got to fight these people for this, and we got to do that, that's them showing you what their level is. It's not what's in front of them, because anything is up to interpretation. That's where you see. I hear all these people that talk about high and low frequencies and low vibrations and all this shit, and the thing that comes out of most of their mouths is some segregated bullshit that doesn't make any sense, that just breeds hate. The thing is they'll all have all these people that are following them, thinking that they're these great teachers and preachers and all this other shit, but meanwhile, if you really listen to them, it's negative. You gotta watch out for these things. Okay? Because look, this is a perfect example of it, right? Anything good can be used for evil, and anything evil can be used for good. It all depends on the user. Hey, peace, man. What do you mean, misunderstanding? I don't even know what you're talking about. You get me? Look, you see the Father in the temple? You see how he sits on the cloud, but behind him there's the two females. You notice how, look, matter of fact, hold on, let me do it like this. Let me just do it this way. Hold on. I gotta move the paraphernalia. Alright, let's do it like this. Let's see. We'll go through these one at a time. Alright, let's do it like this. Let's see. We'll go through these one at a time. Bro, you gotta stop using them terms, Trey. Stop throwing them terms around, my guy. You're boxing people in, and you're limiting who they can become, because you're boxing them in for yourself. That's the thing about labels and names, people. That's what you gotta be real careful of. That's why it's I am that I am. There is no name given, because a label and a title gives a restriction. You gotta be careful with these things that they're teaching you. Right? These things that they're teaching you will destroy you from the inside out. Look. Notice how all of the same stuff that I showed you in the hieroglyphs is on here? You get what I'm saying, Trey? Like, I want you to think about that for a minute. If you label that person as a narcissist, can they ever stop being a narcissist to you? No. Why? Because you're going to be searching for proof that they're a narcissist every single time that you engage with them. So you're never going to hear them. You're never going to see them, and you're never going to be able to enjoy their presence, because you're going to be constantly searching for that title they gave you. Everybody's always searching for that title. You know why? Because that title gives validation for the way that you treat the person. Oh, he's a narcissist, so he deserves this. You get what I'm saying? That's the programming. There's no point in looking for the bad. You can find bad in anything. You don't want your mind focused on bad, right? You don't want your mind focused on bad things. So convince your mind to stop allowing it to be conformed into this ideology, because it's destroying you. You get me? There's good that you can take out of everything. Even somebody that you don't like, they can teach you stuff. You get what I'm saying? Now look, see all this? You see how it's leading up to the nerve stem? You see how it connects down to the flowers? Right? All that shit that I've been teaching y'all about, it's all right in front of you. It's no different. This is the origin of it. These are where all of those hieroglyphs and things originate from. I wish I could get a view of the temple that's a full fucking view of it. That would be great. I think I'm just gonna have to go in there since all these people are lying about what's on it. Look, right? Look, I want you to notice some things, right? You notice how everybody on this one is facing to the left, but this one guy is facing to the right, right? So that's things that are coming together. If you notice, this is the same being. You see that? It's the same, right? From here, it goes into this one. That's why they touch. Every one of them is touching the next one. Right? It's showing you, right? And they're being combined here. You understand? This is why you can't listen to people that fucking tell you all these other things. There's nonsense about it. Look at what's in front of you. Look. The soul, right? The soul. Right? Now, this one has a red tint to it, right? The red. Then you got, hold on, let's check some numbers here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Hold on, let's double check it. Always check twice, measure twice, cut once. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, the 7 vertebrae right there with the water that's coming up to them, coming out of the earth. Why is it the earth? What's the top vertebrae? Anybody? Come on, y'all been in here y'all been listening to me long enough. What's the top vertebrae called? Come on. Why would it be green representing the earth? What's the top vertebrae? The 7th cervical one. What is it? Your atlas. It's your atlas. That's the 7th vertebrae, is the atlas. Below the atlas is the axis. Okay? That's at the top of the 7th. The top of the 7th leads to your pons and your medulla. That's the thing that connects to the brainstem. Now, if you notice, right? See all the organs? That's not fire that's on it. Those are veins, arteries, ventricles. Right? So what are these representing? Look, here's your horse right here. Right? There's your horse for the pons and the medulla right there. This is the inner workings of the brain. Right? See the roundness for your, okay? Look. Why do you think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Right? Don't you have 5 lobes to your brain? Right? You have the 2 women with the spirit that's passing through everything. Right? You got the 5 lobes of the brain. Right? One commands the rest. You understand? This has nothing to do with sacrifices and chiefs meeting and stuff like that. This is about you. Look, it goes from the water being down here, the blood being here, to the blood pouring down, you see? And it's becoming the foundation, right? From the shoulder, the holder of life and death, right? And look, what do you see here? The 3 of them, right? Why is there 3 on each one? The basal ganglias and the pineal, or you and the emotional responses to the things, because you have a left and a right side that determine which way the 5 different parts of your brain react to the thing that you're witnessing. So the blood gets passed through as it's happening. See how it's mixing and going into the waters, right? Notice how the waters now made it up to the hat, where you see the bird, which is Horus, which is the basal ganglia, the thing that carries the information, and that travels down through the blood and the waters. You see the cross right here? That's a cross. It's an X, but that's a cross in motion. These are the functions of the brain. See the horse? Now, it's hard to see these ones, but these are little birds. Okay? That's a little bird over there too. Look, I'll show you. Let's see. See, you're looking at a developmental process. You're not looking at a bunch of warriors and shit. See, you got your 3 wise men, the ones that blow the trumpets. All right. And then those 3 wise men lead to what? Notice how this one is giving, this one's receiving. Then you got this monkey right here, right? What's the monkey represent? Your midbrain, right? Notice how this guy has the monkey face. Notice how his face is separate from everybody else's. See how he's got a monkey face, right? Then the monkey standing behind him. Why? Because the midbrain is the thing that starts to what? Process the information, right? Notice how that's delivering to 3 people here, 3 people here. Why? Because this comes from what? The circle of Willis, which is this guy sitting on top of the cloud, right here. That's him right there, okay? That leads up to it. That's this over here on this side. Where'd it go? These are all the symbols. See, this is what happens when you repaint shit. See how there's stuff missing? It's not supposed to look like this. This is incorrect. This is a reprint. It's not the real thing. You gotta watch for when these people repaint shit because they fuck things up regularly. Look. You don't recognize some of these things? The jug, the axe. Let me show you. Look. Which one is it? Hold on. Which one has it? Let me check here. What's the origin of these? America. Let me see. See the axe right there? See that same exact symbol? Look, you see this right here? See? That's your little L shape right there, right? Isn't that the same thing as this right here? Isn't that also the same thing that you're seeing all across here? See it's on their head? See it, right? Same shit, different civilized, different timeline. Right? See how they got all the little right angles in there? You don't recognize those from the hieroglyphs I've been showing you? None of it? You don't recognize none of it yet? It's all right. We're getting there. See? Look, what do you think this is right here? See that at the very top? Oh, let's see. Where is it? You see that? What do you mean, where are we now? It's the same people that everybody keeps disrespecting in this country. Not these new age fucking ones that don't know none of this shit. That's why they don't look like the people that's in it. It's because it's not from them, it's not for them, and they need to stop claiming that it's theirs and stop claiming that they're the people that have created it. It's ignorant. How can you claim to create it, but you don't know nothing about it? All of your experts tell you that you guys found it there. That's why I can show you what it represents and they can't. You understand? Let me show you. Can't recognize it if you don't come from it. I know that people give you nice little stories about the shit, but don't none of them stories tell you the truth. All you get is stories of wars and gods and conquering and blah, blah, blah. That's the new age shit. Of course the originals use nature. All of that is dealing with nature. Why do you think you see them wearing different animal hats and animal skins and things? It wasn't for what you think it was for. It was so that you would be recognizing them in nature. Hold on 1 second. Let me see that picture again. I got distracted. Yeah, it looks about right. See anything familiar? It's upside down. This is your body. But the thing is that the bottom half always represents the top half as well. Let me show you what I mean. Bink. See? The 1, 2, 3. Oh, hold on, let me go back. Look. The 1, 2, 3 at the base of the circle of Willis. See that? And scammed you for $50. What the fuck are you talking about, my guy? I sent you the invite to the group yesterday. Get the fuck out of my chat telling people that I scam people. Go look through your fucking trash box, your fucking spam folder, and all the other places that mail that comes to you from not people from you is directed to in your Google inbox before you come accusing people of shit that you didn't really look for. Because matter of fact, while you claiming that I scammed you, I'm going to block you after this just for that stupid shit coming out your mouth. Because all I got to do is go like this, and then we go to the Book of Johnson, and then we search through the members, right? Hold on, let me show you real quick. Let's go to manage access, because I'm about to just boot you out and give you your money back. What was your Gmail again? What was your name again? Nah, just tell me what your Gmail was. Matter of fact, here, I'll go on Cash App. What was your Gmail again? What was your name again? Nah, just tell me what your Gmail was. Matter of fact, here, I'll go on Cash App and get it. So you're Frank, right? You're Frank, right? Isn't this you right here, Frank? Where is that at? Isn't that you right there? Isn't that your email address right there, sir? That's you, right? That's your email that you sent to me on Cash App, listed as one of the people that has access to the exact thing that you sent me the money for, right? I don't want to hear that you DM me now. You just came in here and accused me of being a fucking scammer, bro. And your name's right here on the list. Let's see what it says. You're a commenter, right? So you've been on here, right? So that means that you need to go search through your inbox before you come approaching me with bullshit. Because that's fucked up that you would come on here and try to portray me as a scammer when your shit's right there. Come here talking about I scammed you out of $50. You think I need your money? The fuck? Ignorance. Now let me get back to what I was doing before I was interrupted. Don't tell me I scammed you. Go check your inbox, guy. And I'm gonna give you some time to apologize for what you had just accused me of. Now, if you notice, right, you see how you got the 3 that come off the bottom of this? That's your circle of Willis. Okay, that's the base at the circle of Willis. Hold on, I gotta zoom this picture in. Can't defend shit. I just showed you that he got exactly what he gave me the money for. I showed you his email address, and he can't deny nothing. Look, you see how this stem comes out at the bottom? That's your pons and your medulla. That's this part that's coming down. Then it's got the 3 parts that are running through it, which are the 3 parts of your circle of Willis. All right? And then next to that, you got the 2 rivers. Right? Look. All right, that's your circle of Willis right there. The soul traps? The soul trap is you believing that there's something outside of you that isn't you. That's your soul trap. Now you're good, man. You just caught me off guard with that shit, man. It's in there. I guarantee you it's in there 100% because I make sure that everything goes out. I'm very responsible. I don't rob nobody. I don't need to. That donation you gave me is probably going to end up, it's like, you know what, I've already sent half of that to my boy Gaddy. You get me? The donations that I take, I turn around and redistribute to other content creators on TikTok that are trying to make their life teaching people things that we need to know about. And so I take my donations and I give it to them. Or I go on fucking Instagram and go and buy more information to put inside of my library so that your guys' collected money can pay for the things that you can't afford individually. Yeah, they understood more than us because they deal with nature, my guy. They deal with nature. You get me? Well, you know, if you donated to me to get my stuff because you only hear truth from me, then you should have stopped before you came in here accusing me of scamming you and double checked your shit before you defame me publicly. Okay? That's the part that rubbed me the wrong way. Is you just came in here and defamed me in front of all these people and told everybody in this chat that I was a scammer. That's one thing you're never going to find from me, is a scam or a plot or a scheme. I don't need them. We're fucked up enough as it is because of people scamming and plotting and scheming on everybody. I know for a fact that inbox is for you because the other person that was sent the group invite at the same time that you were received theirs as well. You gotta check your Google settings and check your spam folder, your trash folder, your other folder, and all that bullshit, because that's what fucking Google does these days. That's not my fault. All right. So look, notice, right? See, these are the things that they want you thinking that this is just some king sitting on the thing. You don't recognize that guy? You never seen him before? You never seen that guy? Hold on. You never seen that guy? You sure you never seen him before? You don't recognize that hat? You don't recognize the shape of his head? You see it? You see that, right? Look. We'll just do it like this. All right, let me zoom this out for you real quick. Let's go like this. Let's add that picture in here. Let me show you. That's Osiris. Same thing. Where'd he go? Right here. Give me this. Give me this. See, this is why you need to study these things, because then they can't feed you bullshit about them. See, it's the reversal. Look. See, he sits here. He's got the two women behind him. Yes, these are women. They're not men. That's why they're in dresses. Okay, these are women. Let me shrink this down a little bit. Bink. Okay, see these two women standing behind him that are connected by the blue lines? You know, the water that's running through it before it traverses downwards towards your spinal column? Sorry, I had to back it up. My bad. You see that? See these two women? Now look at the shape of his head. What do you see? What's that? The two women and Osiris? Man, look, y'all can't fucking tell me nothing, man. Look, it's right in front of your face. It's the same people. It's the same information. It's the same fucking knowledge. It's the same wisdom. The reason that there's two women is because your emotions go either way. You understand the concept there? Your emotions can go either way for the situation. So it's the two that hold up the king. Okay? Now if you notice, right? Notice how this one's got the head turned away from him, right? And he's giving it a command, right? He's telling the blood where to go. Right? It's being given from here, right? Notice how he's got his hand on his heart, right? And he's got the other hand on the leg, telling you that this is the foundation of the heart that is being witnessed and judged. This is this in its original form. Okay? That's why on this one, right? Look, on this one, look, let me show you here. Matter of fact, let me just open up a new one. I need... not this one, but the other one. Hold on. I'm gonna show you. It's all the same shit. That's why I know it so well. It's all the same. Literally. Now, hold on 1 second. Let me get, where is it? I don't want that one. I want the other one. Hold on 1 second. Look, it's all about putting the pieces together, people. This is how you really piece history together. Is it this stuff? No, that's all law stuff. I don't know. This stack? Yeah, here we go. All right, so give me this one here. All right, now let's clear out some of this shit. We could talk about the rest of that stuff later. Look, just let me stay on task for a second here. Nah, you know what? We'll leave those on there. Nah, we'll get rid of them. Hold on. Because I'm going to show you the comparison so you can see it. Oop, nope. I need that one. Get rid of this one. Get rid of this one. Leave that one. Get rid of this one. All right. Oh. Let's insert that fucking photo. Which would be this one here, right? See, this is just it's the same information, same image, just changing over time. Okay? Notice how, right? Notice how down here, right? You have the 2. Right? Now notice, right? Look. See how he carries the word of the Creator right above him? See that right there, right? Hold on, I did something wrong. Hold on. Let me zoom this out real quick. Oh, shit. Put this back down small, please. Thank you. Wait a minute, where'd the rest of the picture? Hold on. Some of my shit disappeared. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right, now give me that one more time. Let's move this right here. That'll be fine, I guess. Nah, we'll do it like this. Put this one here. Go down to this layer. Give me this one. All right, yeah, that'll be better. And then give me this one. Move this up. No, I don't want to make it bigger. I just want to move it. All right. All right, here we go. Nah, my bad. I know. That shit took a second. My bad. Look. See the guys that are standing down here leading the red guy? See these 3 right here? Right? Notice how he was coming from this direction. That's why he's behind him, is because he passed past him, okay? It's the blood passing through the waters and the bones, okay? Now, if you notice up here, right? Notice how right there. Now look at this. Look at this right here. Right? What do you see here? Come on. Let me show you something. What do you see coming out the top of that? You see that, right? What's that symbol? Where have you seen that symbol? I know you know that fucking symbol. Hold on. Let me make it a little darker for you. Oh, no, that's the wrong one. Hold on, we gotta make it bright. My bad. Where have you seen this symbol before? I wonder. And why is it that it's going into a head that's full of water. You notice that? Isn't that Amun? Wouldn't that be the ram, the goat? You know, wouldn't that be your lateral ventricles? Right? The aqueduct of the brain that's usually represented in blue. Here, let me show you what I mean. Bink. Gimme. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Anatomy. Thank you. And then we need, where is it? Where are them ventricles at? I'm going to show you everything, yo. If you're new here, this is what we do here. Okay? This is our purpose. We reveal these things to you so that you can stop being fucking lied to about everything. So they stop convincing you of all these little fucked up things that they want to tell you about. It's all lies and bullshit. There it is. Bink. There it is right there. Notice how it's called your foramen. Your interventricular foramen is the center section of this. Now these on either side are called your lateral ventricles. This is your which one is this? This is the interior and the anterior horn. That's this right here. That's what's coming out of the top of this guy's head. Now that is filled with water because this is also known as your aqueduct. This is where all of the waters pass through the brain. Okay. Inside your head, in all medical diagrams, you're going to find that this is represented in a blue color because this is where the water comes through. All right, it comes out this way, and then there's also the water that goes around it this way. Okay, so that's the blue head that you're seeing with it coming out of it in the picture. That's this guy right here. See it? That's it right there. Coming out of the what? The blood and the water. And that's carried on top of the head. Why is it carried on top of the head? Because your thoughts are not the same as you. Right? You're the one that carries the information. You're the one that gives the instructions. You understand? Now, let's see what else we got in here. We can't see everything perfectly, unfortunately. All right, see how this dude's head is droopy like this? It's because he's representing the blood. Okay? That's why he's got the blood and the water and the swirls. Okay? Now, if you notice, right? Notice, right? Started off with it here. Notice how he's got the bird on top of it. Who's the bird? Oh, probably this guy. Right? Because this represents the basal ganglia. This is the thing that sends all the information down throughout the body from the heavens to the underworld and back. Aw, appreciate that, Mythmasters. I appreciate that, man. That's a big compliment right there. That's some serious, that's a serious comparison right there. I appreciate that, man. Now look, right? Notice how one is holding up the circle, right? Notice how the circle's got that little face in it, right? Notice how the other one is tied to the feathers, right? These are feathers, right? Now, they want you to think that these are fans, right? But we know that feathers are what? Things that travel on energy. So you've got one. Notice how this fan looks like this. What's that look like to you? That's fucking this. And it goes with the feathers because it's traveling. You understand? These are the energies that are being created inside the thoughts. That's why it's holding it up, because it's generating the energy. This is the creation of the thought. This is the action of it being distributed. If you notice, right? Notice how the 3 gets split, right? One group here goes to another group over here, right? This one faces backwards. This one is aiming back towards that. And so it's carrying it, right? Notice how the head after has a new face. It's blue and it has the same part of those lateral ventricles. You got it right here. Notice how it went from here, where it was the man's interpretation, right? Notice how okay, this is his inner voice, okay? Now his inner voice, after creating the energy and being distributed, got combined. Yeah, everything they tell you is lies. This is, in biblical terms, this would be carrying the word of the Father. Right? You see how you get shielded by the word? You see how it why do you think they tell you that it's uplifting? Isn't that what feathers do? Well, Luke, stop saying shit like that to people. Okay? Because, you gotta start. Look. Just because people don't, people will get you fucked up because they don't understand you. Right? So you got the 2 women over here. Now, if you notice, this one's got the flower on her. Right? Representing that same transference, right? Which is why the blue that's running through the ground, that's going through this one and comes back down this way and goes down here and it goes over here and then goes down. That's the trail of the waters in your brain, right? Because they're affected by your interpretation of the things that you're witnessing. You get me? These are very sacred scriptures. Why do you think they call it scriptures? Because it's spells they gave you on the pictures. These are the pictures where the scriptures come from. This is the Father who sits in the clouds in the heavens. Notice how he's above everybody else, above the waters below. But if you look, what do you see above him? More water, right? That's your firmament. More pretendians. Look at this bitch-made motherfucker here. Let me get you out. Bink. Ain't got time for people that think that they came from this but don't even understand the basic concepts that I'm giving you on this, which is the easiest understanding of it that actually makes sense and doesn't tell you about random stories that you can't do shit with. Hey, what up, Jay? Where you been? Right? So look, right? What do they tell you that God connects you through? The water and the blood. Where do they tell you that God's found? Sitting on the clouds. Right? See how he's sitting on the throne in the clouds? I mean, you know, we all know that this is like the pineal gland and he represents your circle of Willis and all that stuff. But, you know, okay, like this is the inner workings of this. This is the distribution of it. Look. Let me show you. Let's see if we can just grab a picture of the circle of Willis. Hold on a second. Hey, what up, JD? Which one was that? I was getting the circle of Willis. Hold on. Let's get the circle out real quick. I'll show you. See, the thing the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that I've been staring at this stuff for so many years now. It just pops out and tells me stuff. That's what it is. I tell you what it tells me. We find out together. Haven't you noticed that every time we look at the same images, it's a different fucking discussion? Yeah, you haven't caught on to that yet? Give me this guy right here. You know what? Let's get rid of this layer. Think. Put this down here like this. Get rid of this. Oh shit! Wrong layer. My bad. Hold on. Sorry, y'all. Hey, look, my bad, y'all. I know y'all be saying stuff in the chat, but while I'm doing this, I'm like hyper focused. Okay, I can't help it. All right. Now look, right. See this up here? Do it in red. Okay. Pink. There's your 2 from right here. This is this section right here. That's why it has this part that comes off here, this part that comes off here, and then below it, you've got what? The little tentacles that come out. All right. Oh, isn't that this part right here and this part right here? And then that leads down to the stem, right? And the stem goes down this way, right? That's this. It's the same thing. Literally, same exact thing. Oh, matter of fact, here, we'll do it like this. I'll make it easier for you. Stick to this level, get rid of that. Go down to this level, give me this, shrink this down. Bloop. Now you'll be able to see it. Now you get it. Okay, now. Oop, shit, pen went out. Boop, boop. Now, see the 2 eyes in here? Bloop, bloop. See how this makes this almost shape right here? You get it? Okay. Notice how you got the arteries that come down off of it? That's these here, where everything's flowing through. Notice how there's 2 separate flows. There's a red flow and a blue flow, right? See, your spinal column has the blue flow. Okay, it'll be blue, right? That's why you're seeing the blues that are wrapped around the reds, because those are your ventricles, okay? They follow behind. Right? So when you're looking at this is the top half, okay? Now this is this from the side that it actually goes into, because this is the shape of those lateral ventricles that sit right above this in your brain. Okay, they'll be here. You only see it like this though, because you're looking at it from the bottom perspective instead of the side, right? So these are your lateral ventricles that are behind your circle of Willis, which is this thing. So this is the information that's being passed through here that's mixing in with the waters, right? Those waters are the ones that are passing back down. This is the heavens. The water's above, the water's below, and matter of fact, I know that there's another part to this where everybody's sitting down, which will be this part right here. Matter of fact, let's see. Hold on. I don't have all the images from that temple, but I do have most. Bingo. See, I don't need to see it to know what's going to be in it because I already know what it is. Okay? See all the people sitting down here? See how they're all sitting down like that? Right? These guys in here. See how they're all sitting? Notice how they're all kneeling? Here, let's do like this. We'll go. I'll have to split this picture in half. Get rid of this part right here. Bink. All right, give me that. Let's put this like this. All right, right? So, all right, check this out, right? Right above your, where is it? Yeah, right above here. All right, the top 7. These 7. This one right here is known as your atlas. Okay? And it's also, part of it is known as the dens. Okay, that's the den. You get it, the den? All right. Now, down here is your axis. Okay, that's these ones. All right. So, the atlas is the world. Right? Now, that's at the top 7. Right? Now, look at... Notice how all of these guys are kneeling down? Right? And now all these guys that are kneeling down are tied to what? These 7 steps. You see that, right? Think about that for a second. Look, see? There's even more of them. See how they're sitting? If I start to put this in a line for you, what's it going to start to look like? A spinal column. See, the ones that are sitting down are giving things away. Right? Now, this one's different because he's at the top. Right? Now, look. So you got the 1, 2, 3 here, the 1, 2, 3 here. Right? And then you got the 7th one that's sitting differently. And then you have this one that's receiving. Right? It's being poured into. Now, if you notice, you got the face of the lion right here. Why? Because lions represent your emotions. You have a rabbit right here because rabbits represent a new creation, right? Things moving rapidly, okay? Now, you got the serpent here representing your ventricles and your arteries, all right? Notice how it's coming out of his mouth, right? Because the word creates, right? So, let's see. It's a little jumbly. Hold on. Gotta try to take these cheap little internet images and try to make them make sense, right? All right, so what do you see? Let's take a guess at 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see. It's easier to go by the legs, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So those are the 12 that lead up to the 7. The 12 that go up to the 7. You understand? The 12, right? Notice how each one is different. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? You got the 12 and the 7, right? Then you also have the 12 and the 7 because there's 7 whites. 7 colors. You understand? Mathematical processes, okay? This all has to do with you. Nothing to do with anything external. This is all internal. The temple represents the body, and the body represents the temple. And what they're giving you instructions on is cleansing your body and raising your frequency. This is where all of the knowledge of your biology, your astrology, your calendars, all of it comes from this. You understand me? So to the people that are of this nation, that are actually of this nation, when people ask you where your fucking tribe is and where the information from your tribe is and what do you know about it, you tell them it's in all of your shit. You tell them everything that you know, you mimic off of this. Where do you think they got the feathers from? Where do you think they got the ideas of the winged serpent and the ideas of the eagles and the fucking, that shit wasn't, it was, you ask them and they'll tell you, oh, our shamans and our leaders and stuff, they tell us that they turn into animals and go to other villages and collect other people's practices. This is where it comes from. Is it reading Rainbow's Star Trek-y now? That's hilarious, man. What do you expect, man? That was Geordie LaForge, man. The Cyclops, the one-eyed man. Ooh, damn, I put that all on the wrong label. On the wrong fucking thing. Why didn't y'all catch me on that, man? Y'all supposed to not supposed to make me, you're supposed to catch me up on my shit. So, hey, Johnson, did you go to the next layer before you started drawing that shit? I don't even see where the fucking shit's getting taken away from. Oh, it's those down there. Okay. Whatever. Alright, we're gonna go down this layer. Take all this off. And then what layer is that on? So yeah, so when you know all these when these little pretendians and Mexicans come to argue with you about this shit, you just tell them, come see me, and we'll see what they come up with when they see these things, and I'll show you a very drastic difference. Because all they're going to tell you is the basic narrative bullshit that everybody's been putting on this that came from war-torn countries, which is that these are a sacrifice that was taking place. And this and that. You understand? They don't know how to put this stuff together because it's not theirs to do so. You get me? I can show you how this has changed from civilization to civilization over time, and this is the original of it. You get me? It's the same thing being reproduced because it's the same people that are distributing it that were teaching it. Didn't they tell you that the Moors... See, your problem is you think of Moors and you go M-O-O-R-E-S. You go Moors. The Moors are from Africa. The M-O-O-R-E is a bloodline of family called the Moors. And then you have the original people, which are the M-U-U-R, which is also pronounced Moor. Now these are from America. These are from America. These are invaders. These are the ones that got exiled from here. Those are your fallen angels. You understand me? Your gods and your fallen angels were the Murs are the gods because they were the ones that had all the technology. The Moors were the exiles that wanted to conquer people, which is your story of Enki and Enlil. Okay? This is your story of Jacob as well. Atlantis being put under the water, the world being flooded. That was admiralty jurisdiction. The Nephilim was when the Moors bred with the wild men. And the cave women. Those are your Nephilim that were created out of mankind And these are your genetic splices with nature. That's why all of these nations are coming back. Because their entirety of creation was just to remove everybody from this, and this, and this. Bro, please don't come in here. Look. Let me tell you something, right? If you're gonna come in here speaking on gods and goddesses, you need to make it very clear to me that you understand that they're not gods and goddesses, and that you're just referring that story to me so I could tell you what it actually represents. Because the secrets are in the stories of the things that they told you were gods and goddesses. That's where the secret is that ties it into everything else. Because the New World Order wasn't them coming here, it was them making the languages, the babble that everybody speaks. Okay? This is your Temple of Solomon. These are your temples of Solomon. These are the souls of man. That's what all of these are about. Not just one or two of them. So why is it showing that line on there? Where is that line at? I don't see it. Whatever. Okay? These are your vertebrae. That's these guys. Which is also... Why the fuck isn't it letting me draw? I know what it is. I gotta move this layer down. Hold on 1 second, people. Gotta make adjustments. Bink. No wonder I couldn't see all that shit I was trying to erase. Hold on a second. I gotta clean this up. My bad. I apologize, right? Now you understand why they sit like this and why they're reaching. You see how they're trying to reach out? That's because they're passing and receiving. That's your vertebrae. That's this. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to the 7th, where the world's at, the Atlas. Why you think that's all I teach is the symbolism, is because if you understand the symbolism, they can no longer hide things from you. Look, let me show y'all something. Let me check this out. Oh wait, it might not be on here. Y'all better go and watch that video I put out on the movie Sinners. You need to go and see that so I can so that you can get an example of how the symbolism is being used in current times. I just put a fucking breakdown of the movie Sinners out like a couple of days ago, because I went and watched it because everybody was complaining that it was witchcraft and all this shit. So I broke that motherfucker all the way down. And it tells you about all of the invasions. It tells you about the creation of the church. It tells you about the different nations that came here. It tells you about the admiralty jurisdiction. You think that's cap? We'll watch it together. You tell me where I fuck up at. Tell me it's cap. Hold on a second. Where is it? I know it's right here somewhere. No, here, we'll do it like this. Go to videos. And where is it? Is it on this one? You think it's cap? Hold on, let me show you something real quick. Oh, matter of fact, it should be on here. Let's go down to... You tell me if you think it's cap. Just take a look at this real quick. Didn't I move it over here? Ah. We discuss symbolism, and we discuss media that's using symbolism to display messages. Now you tell me if I'm right or wrong. That we would go over this movie Sinners, because there's a lot of things that are packed in here, and I thought you might want to see what some of them actually were, so that you can see how this works. So Sinners is actually, it's a history movie, and you guys don't even realize it because the way that you look at it, right, is that, you're not looking at it from a legalese standpoint, right? So let's break down some imagery real quick. Pause. Oh shit, it's not going to pause. Hold on. Pause. Don't bring that C word up in here, because this word, you know what that means? You know where they started that shit? Didn't it start with Corona? Right? Didn't it start with Corona? Do you know that that's the sun? They're like, oh, everybody's got sun disease. Go lock yourself in your house. You got sun disease. So let me show you something else. Let's see. Certificate. I know that this is ID. It's identification. Oh, certificate of vaccination. Identification. You never got that shit unless you got the actual identification. You never got that shit unless you got the actual. So let's not talk about that anymore. Now we won't go back to that video. Bink. Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, I know. That's why I hopped out real quick. You got the clouds, right? All right, think about this for a second. Hold on, we're going to back this up. And yeah, we're going to be doing it like this the whole entire time. Watch. So, get used to it. Or don't, I don't care. Look, so this is how the movie opens up, right? You have the tree that's touching into the clouds, that's reaching into the sun. Remember, all of these things are very specific. It's done this way for a very specific reason, right? So you have the clouds, which is your brain. The clouds. Right? You have the tree, which is the brain stem. The tree that's going up to the clouds. That's the thought, the beginning of the thought, all right? But look, right? All right. So right off the bat, the opening scene for the movie Sinners, right? Damn, I can't pause it. If you notice, you have the letter J. Now, I know see where the letter J came from? Not really. But look, check this out. You see it right there, right? On this side, you have the den where all of the animals are kept, which is the top of the 7 vertebrae, the den's axis, right? Now, below that, you have the 1, 2, 3 on that side. You got the 1, 2, 3 on. You couldn't see the other side on the video, but 6, right? Watch. Let me show you something. It's the same thing I just showed you. Think about your anatomy real quick. You have one thing that's dark and one thing that's light. You see how the river is passing by it, right? You see that river on there, right? So you have the river and the road, right? Now notice how he's driving a car that's red, right? So you have the red that's passing down the river. Now, this is the preacher's son, right? So the preacher, the son of God. What? The creator, right? The son. You know, the sun's creator. All right, so now look, right? I'm going to pause it right here. You see this back here? Look, now you got to think biblically, and I'm going to show you biblical pictures to go along with this whenever I actually like put the video together. But right, so you have the horse and the carriage. Anybody that's following me has seen this symbolism before, right? You have the buggy with the wheels that represent the energy that's transferring. You have the horse, which represents the what? The base of the pons and the medulla.
See the horse back
okay,
there?
They're part of the brain, right? So you have the information that's transferring to the brain from the blood that's traveling through the system, right? That's why it's right next to the brain stem, which is the tree, right? And over here behind it, you have the house, right? Now watch. So that's 6 total, right? That's 6 total houses so far. Now watch. He goes into the 7th house. Now look, couple things to notice. The road, although it's brown, looked golden, right? Now the horse over here is white, but it has the golden mane, right? The oils that are pouring over it, right? Now if you look,
I'm telling you, when we see movies, we see different things.
Right?
Completely.
The red that's splattered on it, that's your nerve stem, and the gold that's being carried into it. Right? That's what he's representing. It's passing into the Father's house. Watch. Alright? Now look. What's he walk up to? The pyramid. The pyramid is located at the base of the brain. It's the part of the medulla, right? That's right next to the olive tree. See the trees? Alright? Now, I wanted to count this up just to see. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Yeah, the upper room, exactly.
17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. As expected. Right? It's always 30. And then you have the 3. Right? Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and the 12, of course. All right, that makes perfect sense. Check this out, right? Now, these are the 2 brothers. Notice how the brothers are wearing what? Blue and red. You see that? The blood and the water, right? One's hot-headed and one's cool. One stays calm and collected while the other one is always extremely aggressive, right? You peep the message. All right, now check this out, right? You see how they're dressed? They're dressed in business clothes, right? So they represent business. That's the dead world. Now, they're bringing their business in. Now, notice how it's blue, right? Because what? Blue is where energy travels, right? So you have the blue and the red within the blue, okay?
You boys twins? Nah, we cousins.
Now, check this out, right? Notice how he's on fire, right? Cast out and on fire. Notice how he dropped out of the sky out of nowhere. Now look, right? Right after him comes the Indians, what you call Native Americans, right? Why? Because the natives came with, okay? They came with them to replace. This isn't that sash right there. That's the rebel flag. That's the rebel flag redone, right? The natives came with the...
Oh, this is my video. I broke this down.
With the ship, with the... You understand? They were tied into it.
Evening, ma'am.
But the thing that's missing right here is that there's also Asian people in here. Why? Because there used to be... Because before the British came and the Spanish and all of them, the Asians had already been here mixing. That's where the...
Notice how it tells you they're from America?
From, right? But the natives wanted to conquer and remove the originals, so they sided with like, you seen that dude that popped in? He's a vampire, okay? So they sided with the dead. That's the what do you call it? The straw man, right? They sided with commerce, okay? That's what the brothers brought in. They brought the commerce in, and the commerce started taking over everything, right? Everybody went to the bar and shit like that, right? And so you have the natives that were following behind it, right? Everybody's dancing and shit.
The owners of this establishment. That's right.
See, these are the Moors that left America and came back with the business.
This is the lead vampire, okay? This is the lead one right here. He represents the new industry, right? And how the system...
Vampires represent the dead that walks. They deal with estates.
Permission to come in.
That's commerce.
Right? They were having to ask permission to come in. What do you have? You have the Irish, the Spanish wife, and the British husband.
Sorry, the sound got cut out by a phone call.
The thing is that these are all the countries that came to America, right? And they came with gold, right? They presented gold and tried to buy their way into it. They tried to bring their music into it. They tried to get into they're like, you know, they were playing one type of music. These people came to bring a different type of music that's trying to mix the cultures, right? And then what ended up happening was one of them gets bit, of course, right? So then you have the infiltration, right? The one that starts to try to convince them, hey, look, just let me in. You know, just let me in. You get me? That's this is the type of shit that's in the symbology in these things. These are the type of things that's in the programming and all of the hidden messages that you're not picking up consciously. Right? To you, it's just like, you know, to the average person, it's just watching entertainment, right? But each one of you feels a little bit of this when you watch it. Everybody, it doesn't matter which one you are, you all feel a little bit of it when you're watching it. You have this feeling that starts to build up in you towards different people after watching it, which is the effect that it's having on you from the psychological programming that's taking place, because this is tapping into the real history, which is stored within you, which is bringing a certain energy forward by having it be like it's replaying traumatic events, basically. You understand? And so by disguising it in the form of entertainment, while you're being given something different than what it was, it's tapping into what it was at the same time.
Okay? So don't tell me that the fucking movie Sinners isn't a history lesson. You're not going to tell me that I'm capping on anything, because that shit was too easy. it was too easy as soon as I broke it down, right? Did any of that not make sense to somebody in here? Was that hard to follow for anybody in here? No, it was blatant, it was direct, and it was all done through the symbolism that nobody looks at. Not a single person that you know is going to be able to show you the things in there unless they understand the symbolism, the history, and the treaties, the fucking legal processes. You have to know all of these things because they're all tied in together. Okay? You have to consider these things when you're watching your entertainment. This is why it's very, very this is why you're going to have a hard time picking out good things for like your kids to watch and shit like that, because there's programming in all of it. That was just one movie. I can show you that in every single TV show, every single movie that's out. It's all the same thing. It all replays and it all runs over and over again. That's why everybody's minds are so fucked up when it comes to this shit. It's because it's a constant recycling of the rewriting of the history. They just do it in ways that you don't recognize until you've gotten to a point to where you look at these things and they start speaking to you. When these things can start telling you things, then you'll be able to see those things. You get me? This is why I show you these things all the time. Because if I show you these things all the time and you get fluent in understanding how you're supposed to be looking at these, you're going to be able to, they're not going to be able to fuck with you mentally anymore. The problem is that most people don't know the symbols, and so it's tapping into you on ways that you can't really grasp because it's in your genetic coding, but it's not in you currently. That's that Akashic records that everybody's talking about. Your Akashic records aren't written in fucking English. I don't know how the fuck people got y'all convinced that they're tapping into their Akashic records and then showing you English stuff and shit like that. It's none of this is writing. All of it is pictures. You get me? All of it is pictures. That's why we try to teach you these things, because we have to restore the peace and the sound mind that is necessary for there to be the future that everybody wants to get to. And you can't do that as long as they're continually using these things against you on a day-to-day basis, because it's scrambling your personal coding. You see, it takes you out of alignment because you naturally, having been a part of these things, have a certain thing that means certain things to you, that's permanently in your genetic coding, passed on from ancestor to ancestor. And so when they're tapping into this, but you're not, guess who's the one getting put out of it? You get me? Yeah, see, they give you stuff like that. Amut the Devourer. You know why he's the Devourer? Look, you got the gator, which is your intestines. You have the lion, which represents your emotions. You have the hippo. That represents your stomach. This is the thing that consumes all energy. Your intestinal tract and your gut have nothing that gives energy. It only takes energy away, and it is also altered and controlled by the way that you feel. So the thing is that if you notice, it's touching the foundation of it, but it is not connected to the rest of the scale, because this is something separate that draws out from you. The rest of the scale is the structure. You have the feather for your actions. You have the feather coming out of the brain for your thoughts. Then you have the heart, the jug, the thing that fills and pours and empties, right? It's your intent versus your thoughts, your words, and your actions. You understand? He controls the frequency. That's why his hand is on there. Hold on. Matter of fact, just fuck that little tiny screen for a second. Turn my AC back on. Let me show y'all. Flip. You get me? Oh. What up, garden? So you have the actions that are being extracted from the thoughts. Notice how you have Thoth and you have your boy Thoth right here. The Ibris and the monkey. These are both forms of Thoth, because one is the mind and one guards the heart. One guards the thoughts and one guards the intention. These two things have to come together. That's why they face each other. The extraction is of the intention that you have that carries the energy that takes care of your actions. This is biology, psychology, science, and all the things that they try to teach you in school that you have to pay for, that's been sitting in front of you for free the entire time that you've been alive. It's the foundation that's created out of the thoughts that come from the emotions. Right? Remember, let thine eye be single. Right? Let thine eye be single, 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 single. Let thine eye be single, so thy body is full of light. Right? So, this is your biblical pictures. This is where the scriptures come from. This is the voice of you internally. This is the voices that you hear that make you feel good and bad. The things that you feel that give you emotional responses are external. That's why they're outside of the scales. The scales is you. That's you. You understand? That's you. This is your interpretation of the things that are behind you, right? The things that put you together, right? Your past, look, the past and the future, right? The ideas that the past creates, the good and the bad that the past creates, the thoughts that come from the temple that create the foundation for the structure of the way that you carry yourself. You understand me? These are your scriptures. This is where you learn about the living waters. This is where you learn about the boats and the ships and the vessels. This is where you learn about the connection between you and nature. This is where the birds can talk to you. This is where dogs can talk to you. This is where monkeys can talk to you. This is where the Ibris talks to you. These are the wall kings. You're supposed to be in the spirit of the wall king, aren't you? Don't they tell you in your Bible to wall king spirit? Right? They tell you walking spirit, right? They say, oh, you're supposed to be walking in spirit. There's your wall kings. They've been telling you the writing's on the wall. You just don't read the wall. You read what they write. This is the energy. This represents the energy that you create when you extract it from your thoughts that can either bring you up, pull you down, or sustain you. Where do you think they got all this shit from? Wherewithal shall man be led by the word to be cleansed? The dog represents the word. The dog is you know why it's the Zolo? Do you know why the dog is the Zolo? The Zolo is the most melanated dog on the planet. It generates energy. It's one of the few ones that actually have the ability to do so. The Zolo is Anubis for this reason, because it's the thing that controls and regulates energy. That's why he's the Zolo. That's why he's the tongue, the word, the thing that alters the frequency. That's why he's the one that sits at the scales to balance them out. Because he's your cleanser. Wherewithal shall man be led by the word to be cleansed. You see how the man is following him? What do they say? The scales. Don't they tell you in the Bible that life and death are weighed at the tongue? Isn't that the tongue sitting there at the scales of what they tell you is life and death? That's the tongue sitting right there, ain't it? That's the dog, the word, the frequency, the changer, the exchanger. This is the extraction of your thoughts. Okay? Miss me with that stupid shit, Jewel. Miss me with your religious bullshit. Okay? Just go on and take that shit somewhere the fuck else. You don't sit here and ask me if I believe in the Creator. I don't believe in your God. I don't believe in your Jesus. I don't believe in your Yahweh, your Yeshua, your Yahweh, your Allah, your fucking... I don't believe in none of that dumb shit. I know that I'm divinely connected to my Creator. My Creator speaks to me. My Creator's speaking to you through me as I'm telling you these things. But see how you don't recognize it? That's because you're stuck in religious shit. You think that I'm the only person that you can come across that can actually speak to you about these things, and that comes from me? Don't I sit here and tell you that we learn these things at the same time? You think I make these videos for you guys? No, I make them so that I can go back and listen and learn. I don't lie to y'all. I tell y'all this shit all the time. You get me? Like I tell y'all all the time. You get me? This, I come to tell you the things that this thing tells me. Right? How you carry yourself. See it over there? See him over there carrying it? Carrying the weight, right? So yeah, when you ask me about the Creator, I've been speaking to you about the Creator the whole entire time. That's what I'm trying to help you get closer to. Because you can't find it in a church. So, let's run it through the gambit. I gotta take y'all through some basics. We're gonna run you through some basics. I don't mind going over the basics a million times. It's fine with me. Okay, so we're gonna go over some basics. All right, take you to my little curriculum so that you can see these things for yourself. Hold on. Let's go to... boop, boop, boop. No, not that one. I need this one. And I need the collections and the albums. And then we need... Let's see. Because most of mine is focused on the Egyptian hieroglyphs. So let's stick to American stuff first. Let's stick to our stuff first, right? Let's see. Okay, right? So... just to be clear, this is where your cross comes from. Okay? This is a good place to start from, right here. Okay, this is a good place to start from. Hold on. I need to grab me like a coconut water or something. Egyptians worship several gods? No, freaks. No, freaks. If you study anything ancient, they will tell you that the entirety of the Hermetic principles came from the Egyptians, which means that they believe in the all. The all is all. You're in the mind of the all, and the all is all, right? So the idea that Egyptians believed in multi-gods was a distraction that they gave you so that you could not understand the fact that they were trying to portray to you your connection with nature by showing you different animals on your body to represent the different personalities and characteristics of the organs that are within you. Okay? Who is the creator? The creator is the creator. You gonna try to put a name or a title on it so you can restrict it to something you can explain? Is that what your goal is here? Because if you believe in God from the biblical perspective, or whether you believe in it from just the consciousness and being able to understand that it's everything, in order for you to know the Creator's name, you would have to put every single name in the correct order that exists in existence, because all names came from the Creator as well. So you can't restrict it to one name, and you wouldn't even know how to pronounce that, nor would you ever be able to speak that in one lifetime. That's why it's I am the I am. You understand? Because names and titles are finite restrictions that make it so that you try to process something that you can't. All right, you can't restrict. That's why I tell you guys, stay the fuck away from these people that try to convince you that the Creator is a divine feminine. The Creator is a divine masculine. No, the fuck it's not. Those are products. Those are products. Stay away from these egotistically driven people that try to use that as their excuse to talk down to people and treat them unrighteously by trying to imply that there's something more special about them than there is about anybody else. I don't sit here and tell you that I'm special. I tell you that I'm showing you the things that I know how to do so that you can do them for yourself, because I know that you can, because I'm not special. I'm only special in the perspective that I have this perspective that I can't comprehend and fully explain to you. That's what makes me special. The same thing that makes me special makes you special. You understand me? Nothing that I'm showing you makes me more intelligent than you. Nothing that I'm showing you makes me gifted. Nothing that I'm showing you makes me a fucking messiah. None of that shit. There's nothing that I'm showing you that you can't do. That's why I show it to you. Now, let's get into this. Okay, let's get into this a little bit, right? So this is the origin of your churches. Okay? It's always been a replication. Now, if you notice, there's a big difference between the two, right? If you notice on this one, the man that's on the cross also has these waters that are running, right? Representing the current that's being exchanged. Because this, let's see. These ones have to deal with your heart. It's the whole image. It's the heart being connected, right? You have the circle of Willis that sits here, right? He's connected to the cross because that's why you see the little extra arteries popping out. You have the two flows because you have negative and positive, right? These are the two types of currents that affect your current life. That's why it's called current time in the first place, is because it's the energy, it's the flow of the energy, right? And so these represent something very internal. These represent something very sacred. They tell you about a process that takes place within you. Whereas these give you ideas of people being strung up on crosses, sacrifice, destruction, and war, and murder, and all kinds of really fucked up stuff. You see? So you can take anything that's good and turn it into something evil very easily. Y'all can sit there and tell me that the people worship Jesus on the cross, but if my boy got shot, right? If my boy got shot, I'm not going to come to his fucking house wearing a fucking gun around my neck that looks like the one he got shot with. You get what I'm saying? Like the ideology behind these things makes absolutely no sense what these people practice, right? Except for the fact that it's reinforcing negative thoughts. Okay? So, you know, there's a reason that the people that practice this seem to run in loops. If you ever notice, their conversations only stay in a very small loop. If you've noticed, we've discussed history, we've discussed science, we've discussed hieroglyphs, we've discussed psychology, and, you know, a little bit of astrology as well. Because all of it's included, but they can't give you that or show you that. Who just sent me that message? I gotta look into that shit later on. Whatever. All right, so look, right? So we're gonna try to stick to all the stuff from this nation first, because it's easier to start from the origins of things. Okay, this is where your whole idea of the flat Earth and the firmament comes from. Okay, but it is not the flat Earth and the firmament. What you're seeing is the regulation of the heart. It's the same information. You see, everything was created to reflect the same sacred things, because this is the gift that was given to you by the Creator. And so you need to know how to operate properly in order to fully enjoy and live through this. So they've put it in everything that's ancient. See, nowadays, buildings aren't built like this. Nowadays, because of the knowledge of knowing of these things, the buildings are being built in the opposite in order to oppose the energy traveling naturally, which is why a lot of you feel trapped in, stunted, you know, you get like agitated and shit. It's because you're being boxed. Okay, you're being put in the matrix. The matrix is the box. Okay, the box comes with the names and the words and the language. All right, look, what do you see here? You have the pyramid. Now that I've shown you the medulla oblongata, the part of the brain where the pyramid's at, you should understand when you're looking at a pyramid, you're looking at a representation of you. All the pyramids around the world reflect you internally and externally. Okay? So, right, look, this is the thing, right? This is where your Garden of Eden comes from, your firmament comes from, your flat earth comes from, the idea of earth being on a disc comes from, right? But that's not what they're showing you, all right? And the flat earth is incorrect, because flat isn't natural. There's nothing in nature that's flat. There's man-made things that are flat, but there's nothing in nature that's completely flat. You might have a flat side to something, but it's going to have edges and corners and roundness, and it's going to take on a shape of geometry. Okay, this is why all your buildings are rectangular, because rectangles aren't natural. This is why all your rooms in your house are rectangular, because your rectangles aren't natural. You walk into anything, you walk into the old school courthouses and you'll look around the room, and if you really pay attention, those rooms are hexagons, octagons, and they're all structured after sacred geometry to keep an even distribution of energy. Why do you think you hear yourself so well when you're talking in those buildings? Because acoustics are reflections. Acoustics is simply the control of the direction of the flow of the sound, which is energy in motion. So when you go into an acoustic place, you always end up coming out feeling better because it's cycling it properly. You understand? Now, so what do you really see here? Oh, you got the moon and the man in the moon, and you got the sun and the man in the sun, and then you have another man sitting here, right? So that's your feminine, your masculine, and then you. That's why this one is represented with bones, because this one represents your internal, right? These are the two forces. These are the two magnetisms. This is your sun and your moon, okay? This is you, or the creator, right? Now below that, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Why is it 9? What's 9? Isn't that something sacred about that? You see the 3? Now the 3 give you the two sides, right? So that's your 3, your 6, and look, your pyramid gives you the 9 in the center. Where do you think they got all this stuff in the first place? So, you got your 4 seasons, of course, which are also your processes. If you notice, right? Notice how you have the wolf here, right? The dog, right? Over here, you have a serpent, right? Over here, you have a round thing with little edges coming off of it. Okay, that's the heart. Okay, I'm just letting you know this is a second segmentation. Okay, this is your nerve stems, right? This is why they say that you have a brain stem, right? These are your what? Your trees of what? Life, knowledge. This is your blank slate, because that's you. You're the blank slate. This is where it's being brought together. See how all the colors are combining here and being brought into the base of the pyramid? You see that? Right? Okay? You see? It's the same sacred things everywhere. Everywhere you look, it's going to be the same sacred message about cleaning yourself up, clearing out your thoughts, changing the way that you're viewing things, and moving to a standpoint to where you're not operating controlled by the feminine or the masculine, but the one that oversees it. Right? You want to be in the position of the overseer. Let's see if I can. Come on. It wouldn't let me get it. You see the eyeball though, don't you? Hold on. It's going to get a little bit deeper. We're just going over the symbols for a second. Don't you see the eyeball? If this was a white glint right here and this was a white glint right here, this would be your eye. Let thine eye be single. Okay? All of this. This is the ventricular segmentation of the heart. The thing that regulates the energy and the flow of the energies within the body. You understand me? And so you're having what you're looking at, right? This is the bottom of it, which is what you call your apex. All right? All right? Look at the shape of it. See how it makes that little cup right there? You see the fucking cup? You see the top, right? These are your... Oh, hold on. Wait. Let me explain it to you like that. These are your Easter baskets. This is why on Easter you go out and you have a basket. It's the heart. You're collecting the egg. That's your thalamus. It's the new mind. That's why there's a rabbit. It's not pagan. It's not pagan. They smack pagan. They smack this word pagan on every fucking thing, and everybody just bought into it. Doesn't this look like your fucking Easter baskets? Right? That's your Easter basket, right? Bro, 666 doesn't have to do anything with shit. Do you know what? Here, let me help y'all out with this real quick, because everybody keep talking about angel numbers and shit, and I'm just so fucking sick of it. Let me show y'all all something real quick, and don't take offense to me getting aggravated by it. It's just, it keeps popping up for me to take care of, and I keep forgetting to. Uh, 666 would be an angel number, by the way, since y'all all claim that all these fucking numbers are angel numbers and shit. These ain't fucking angel numbers, bro. These are fucking... Let me show you what they are. 3, 6, 9. 3, because 4 times 3 is what? 12. 1 plus 2 is what? 3. You understand? All it is 369. 5 times 3 is 15. That's 1. 5, that's 6. You understand? 6, 6, 6, 18. That's 9. 7, 7, 7, 21. That's 3. 8, 8, 8. 24. That's 6. 9, 9, 9, 18. Back to 9. Okay? So, if you're gonna get fucking excited about this stupid shit, get excited every time you see a 3 or a 6 or a 9. Because everybody's got... See, this is the thing, is everybody's got y'all looking at the other parts. Just like the history, just like the movies, just like all the other shit. They always have you out of focus. You get me? Why don't I put this into getting a 6-figure job? Because, my good friend, I'm not ruled by money. Money comes to me. I don't need for money. It always flows to me. I don't stress over money because I have an abundance of it at all times, because it's the only thing allowed in my existence. Trust me when I tell you that I live a very fruitful life, and it never fails me. You think that you need a 6-figure job for you to be heard, for you to be seen, and for you to feel a form of importance. But yeah, the thing is that I'm accomplishing everything that people with 6-figure jobs do, and I don't fucking have to spend a fucking thing. Money just pours to me. You don't think that this is a job? You don't think that I get repaid for my work? No, I don't get paid off TikTok. I can't monetize, because as soon as I do that, they start flagging my account and fucking taking my accounts from me. So my account's not monetized, right? So I don't get paid off views. I didn't even give them any information. So you know, I don't even take the gifts off here anymore, because I just take the gifts that people give me and I gift them to other people. So I don't... So, you know, you let me know why it is that you feel you need a 6-figure job. Because I've never needed a 6-figure job, and I've had a very abundant life. I can take you outside right now and show you 4 vehicles that I own that just came to me. I can take you to a house right now that I have the key to, that's a 7-bedroom fucking plantation style house sitting on almost a full acre of land. Or I can drive about an hour away from that and take you to the other house that is a 4-bedroom house sitting on 0.8 acres of land that I'm like, what makes you think that you need a 6-figure job, my friend? All you have to do is stop telling yourself that you need money for these things to come to you, by realizing that you are the money, and you'll stop restricting how the things come to you that are meant to come to you. See, the problem is right now, you guys rewrite your programming, and you've programmed all kinds of shit. You guys have programmed all kinds of shit into your everyday life, and you don't even realize it. Half of you believe that you get paid weekly. I get paid every week. Well, now you know why you don't get paid every day of the week. Is because you've decided that you only get paid every week. So the universe just makes you get your money when you go to work for it, because you told the universe that you needed to work in order for you to have things. But the universe never created money. Man created money, right? You're not operating under God's law. You're operating under man's law. That's a very destructive, chaotic fucking place to be, okay? And it's very, very, very fucking restricting. Like, fuck. Like that, I couldn't even imagine going back to that lifestyle, to be honest with you. I know that I am the opportunity, right? Because it only exists because of my existence, right? Which means that all opportunities are coming to me at all times. And so I never fall short on these things that you call affirmations, because I don't need to affirm them. That's just court talk. See, the affirmation is just you having a problem dealing with reality, because you're looking at things from man perspective, right? And so you feel like you have to affirm things, and most of the time you're stopping everything. You'll see like that car that you want pop up into your head, right? And that car is going to pop up into your head, and you're automatically going to go, ooh, I want that. Because you don't know how the universe works. You don't know that it popped up because the universe was like, hey, I got something for you. Nah, you took that as you have to get that. So now you took what the gift that the universe was giving you, and you're like, oh, I want that. All right, I got to get this job. I got to sell this thing. I got to move this stuff. And then you don't do none of that stuff because you're too busy to do it. So you never get the thing that you want, because when it was coming to you, you were like, hold on, I got to do this first. Right? Realize the programs that you're giving yourself on a regular basis. You have to stop thinking this way. That's the effect of not knowing who you are. You program so much shit into yourself on a regular basis that you don't even realize that it's crazy. Like the other one, the one that I just brought up the other day. What do you reference to when you say you're going to treat yourself? What do you reference treating yourself to? This is one of those very destructive spells that's out there. Every time you say you're going to treat yourself, oh, I'm going to treat myself to some bacon. I'm going to treat myself to a bottle. I'm going to treat myself to this snack even though I'm on a diet and I'm trying to work out. I'm going to treat myself to a vacation even though I can't afford it, and fuck it, YOLO, right? Why is it that everything that you treat yourself to is something destructive? Trick or treat, motherfucker. Trick or treat. You've been tricked. You've been tricked. You know they're bad for you, but you sit there and say, I'm going to treat myself to it like it's something good. Now you know why the universe thinks that you want more of these bad things. That's why you have addictions. It's because you programmed yourself to be addicted to things that you're not supposed to have. Things that you wouldn't normally go after, you tell yourself is a treat. And so you have now gave the universe full instructions to make your body think about these things, crave these things, and want these things. You program that. You're programmed for negatives. You're hardwired for negatives right now. Okay? You have to rewire these things. If you don't rewire these things, why do you think everybody's dying earlier? Right? The age of death has gone fucking through the floor. You get me? Nah, don't fill me with no Holy Spirit, sir. Kindly. I appreciate the incentive and the intention behind the desire to think that you're going to fill me with something, but the last thing I need is more holes. You should really stop addressing the universe, because all you did was talk to me. Like, you haven't realized that each person, look, let me show y'all something, man. Y'all got to realize this about life, right? Everybody's always talking about the creator, right? and what they want from the creator, right? But the creator gave you this physical world. Okay? Gave you this physical world. Right? Now, the thing is that there's constructs and rules to how this operates. So, first off, everybody's connected. That's why they're standing on the floor. Okay? Because there's things that don't stand on the floor on these things as well, right? Notice how they're all on the same platform. It's all one big platform. Okay? This is the thing. Is all of your blessings, haven't you ever noticed, hey, what's the most common thing people say? A stranger will help you out before your friends will. You don't fucking get it, do you? That's the universe. That's how it works. Through strangers. These are the ones that can communicate with you and provide for you the things that you want. How the fuck is... Like, there's restrictions on this so that you experience it from a certain way. How is it going to tell you things, show you things, and teach you things if you don't listen to the universe? The universe can't talk out loud except through people. Right? The best your dog can do is give you a funny look or bite the fuck out of you. But a person, however, can literally just walk up to you and be like, hey, look, I got this house down the street that I'm looking to get rid of. And, you know, here, why don't you take the keys? You've been such a nice person. And I see you always help people and always doing these things and da-da-da-da-da-da. You be fucking up the universe all the time. How many, y'all ignore everybody on the streets, don't you? Y'all be ignoring everybody on the streets. Oh, like that happens. How you think I got that car sitting out there? How you think I got the keys to the other house? I didn't tell you it because it was some random fabricated shit. People watched me lose the fucking last place that I got, and at the same time that everybody was paranoid thinking that I was about to be homeless, I'm sitting there laughing, enjoying life because I know that it's only being removed to bring me something better, because that's what the history of my existence has told me so far. So by the end of the week, I had a place that I didn't have to put money onto, that was given to me for free, that had running water in it, unlike the last place that I was at during the time that I was fucking going through all my investing stuff. Okay, so things got better. Now, it's a smaller place that some people might not find to be, you know, their favorable place to stay because, you know, it's in the hood and whatnot. But I like the hood. It's where I'm from. It's what I do. It's my people. Like, fucking, I'm nice and comfy here. Nobody bothers me. Everybody minds their business. We all just sit around, you know, every once in a while, everybody goes out. We might smoke a blunt with your neighbor or something like that. But, like, you know, it's pretty chill around here. I got put into a better situation. Everybody was freaking out. I was like, look, I'm not paying for this shit. You're going to watch me move. And everybody watched me move. I was on TikTok. I had 120-something thousand people on that account when I was going through that shit. I could have fought the guy for the place, but I told him, look, if you steal this from me, you're just going to ruin your life. And he didn't believe me. But guess what? The guy that I let take that place over, even though he knew that he shouldn't have because it was mine by right, by law, and I just let him take it to teach him. Yeah, because that was the place that I was building up for homeless people to come and stay at from around the country. Whenever I was out traveling the country, building my villages and my cities and things that I have on my plate. So the thing is that I explained to him, look, I do this for other people. And if you take this from me right now, knowing that the guy that told you about it was lying to you, knowing about the money that I have invested in it, knowing about the court case and everything else I'm telling you about you, if you pursue this, your life is going to fall apart. Because you're interrupting the process of me repairing the universe. And he didn't believe me. Guess what? He hasn't been able to sell that. It's been sitting in the same exact spot for over a year. He hasn't been able to invest any more money in it because even though he owned multiple properties and had a large business, all of that came to a screeching halt when he fucked with me. And I told him not to do so because it wasn't me wishing anything on him. It's just how things work when people do me dirty. their life falls to fucking shit. I've watched it happen a bunch of times. I feel horrible for them, but that's just, what they have to go through for what they did, right? It's the repercussions of the actions and the things that you put out into the universe. So because of the fact that he basically took that from me and didn't just give me the papers and the keys and hand it over to me, what ended up happening was his business tanked. His girl that he was with basically left him over the fact that he robbed me of the house. The guy that he had bought it, that lied to him and gave him paperwork even though it was my property already, he was never able to recover the money that he took from him. The property is still sitting there. He can't put it in his name because it's now tied up in litigation, thanks to yours truly. And he's losing his business, his family, and everything that he ever worked for, because instead of when he told me that, he feels bad about it and he knows that he's wrong for what he's doing and he didn't really mean to and it was just business and stuff, instead of him handing me over my keys and doing the right thing, he chose to oppose it when the universe was telling him that what he was doing was wrong. And so now here we are a year and a half later, and I have 3 properties. He's lost his properties, his business tanked, his family life fell apart, and I'm chilling. And he's looking for me because my boy that owns the land that the trailer's sitting on told me that he's been asking about me. You have to listen when the universe tells you that you're doing something wrong, or you're going to warrant everything that comes with all of those thoughts that the universe tells you is the repercussions of that. You're opening floodgates. You have to stop ignoring it when the universe tells you no. A lot of you still are dealing with you overriding it. Universe is your heart. Your heart is the thing that preserves you. That is the thing that gives you empathy and makes you forgive. That's what gives you the wisdom to sit in the Father's seat, is having the ability to regulate your emotions and limit yourself and discipline yourself to a manner to where the things that you do don't harm others. If you're doing anything that's harming others, you're doing it wrong. It's not necessary. Not for your progress, not for your success, not for your life. There's nothing that requires you to harm others. Now, that doesn't just mean physically, right? That's emotionally as well, right? Which is why I try, right? I try to explain things to people when they come to me with things that are disagreeable in a way that doesn't, because I understand that I'm shattering their world in the moments that they're coming and finding me. You see, you can't come to me with bullshit. You can't come to me with religious dogma. You can't come to me with governmental lies. You can't come to me with historical nonsense. You can't come to me with none of it. And everybody lives in that matrix right now. So a lot of times when you're in my lives, you'll see people come in here that will flip their fucking wig over the shit that I'm saying. Because you can't be around me and have that reality exist. Because you begin to recognize the destruction that's created in it rather than the production that you're supposed to be receiving. And I know that you're just an extension of me. So I know that you have the same capability to come to these same conclusions and these same ideas and the same mind and the same consciousness. And then we have our new reality that I've been beaten into the heads of millions upon millions of people for the last 5 years. I've personally reached over 130 million people view-wise on the Book of Johnson hashtag in the last 4 years. That means that over a third of the country shares my consciousness. Which means that if you understand how these things work and how the generation of frequency works and how that molds and manifests and reshapes the reality around you, you understand that I've created a whole entire existence that's right on the cusp of being real. because I've put it into everybody's mind. I've made sure that I bring it into light. And people share it and believe it and love it and embrace it. Because it's one that's beneficial for all. And brings everybody together. Like we're supposed to be. The very reason that there's so much hate, which is a trained thing. You had to be trained to hate. But the whole reason that people feel this and conform to this emotion is because you want to be close to others. Naturally. Because you're all one. But right now, you're being forced to be away from people because of the destructive things that they've been taught. But what I can do is help you get your mind to a point to where you're not affected by their destruction. And you become the alleviator of it. Right? Because you're either part of the problem or you're the solution. And this is the thing, is that everybody's frustration is literally only because of the fact that you can't be close to others. That's why everybody's frazzled right now. There is no real hate. There's only wanting to be a part of something that you can't because of the type of things that it does and the type of things that it represents and how it conducts itself. Nobody wants to be separate. You just feel like you have to be because how everybody's been programmed. How would I change a Christian mindset? Well, I'll give you the facts to start with. I can give you some facts right now that'll make you stop that shit immediately. The word Christian, etymology, comes from Creston. Now, a Creston etymology comes from the word Cretan. So, the facts of it is that the reason that you are going to be hard to deal with as a Christian is because you're a Christian right now. They made you a Christian. But what you don't realize is that a Cretan is somebody that is iodine deficient, leading to the stunting of the brain's development. Stop saying Christ consciousness. Shut up. Stop saying Christian. You guys don't know what these words mean. Christian, literally, in etymology, breaks down to somebody that is lacking in brain function. Incomprehensible. You understand me? That right there should tell you that you don't want to be a Christian, because Christian is Cretan. Cretan is basically a brain dead idiot. Literally. Do the etymology of it, and you'll find what I'm telling you is true. That's why you have to raise up the Christ. You have to raise up the intelligence, the thoughts. Your iodine deficiency comes from your holy water. You create holy water yourself. You are the holy water. Because holy water is created when you have negative thoughts. I'm going to bring this chart out every fucking day. When you have negative thoughts, I'm going to bring this chart out every fucking day. When you have negative thoughts, you... Sorry, my brother was calling. Look, when you have negative thoughts, you create holy water. The thing is that when you think of God, you think of the devil. When you think of heaven, you think of hell. When you think of Jesus, you think of the devil. When you think of angels, you think of demons. You being taught that story about those angels and those demons and those gods and those heavens